We'll continue the CSEC Mathematics May 2021 paper. And we do question 8 right now. Now, this is section 2. And just as in our section 1, them say answer all questions. All working must be clearly shown. And then question 8, cover algebra, relations, functions, and graph. Just to see. I'll go on further down here, so. Question 9, geometry and trigonometry. Tells them say. Question 10, vectors and matrices. Alright. So, you will see now question 8 onwards. Well, as we go on, the question them get harder and harder. And you have to do more work for the same marks. Alright? But anyway, what did it say so? Marla buys 2 types of mobile phones. Have B Flow and C Flex from a company to retail. One B Flow phone costs $60. One C Flex phone costs $80. She buys X number of B Flow and Y number of C Flex phones. Marla must not spend more than $1,200. Write an inequality to represent this information. Alright, so I want you to pause the video and write it down. Alright, you write it down. What do you get? Let me just copy this information over to the other screen, because we're going to use up the information that we get later on. I don't want you to lose that information. So here we have the information, question 8 information. Alright. So here it says, notice what it's saying now. The B flow are X. BF FLO. That are X. You see that? And the C Flex, number of them is Y. Now, the thing is, you have to look upon the fact that one B flow costs $60. That means if she buy 2 B flow, she spend 2 times $60. If she buy 3 B flow, she spend 3 times $60. So if she buy X B flow, how much she pay? How much she spend? Is X times 60, which is equal to, that give you what? 60X. That is how much she spend on the number of B flow phones that she buy. Now for the C Flex, how much for a C Flex? $80. So if she buy 1 C Flex phone, she spend $80. If she buy 2 C Flex phone, she spend 2 times 80. That's $160. If she buy 3 C Flex phone, then she spend 3 times 80, $240, and so on. The number of C Flex phone she buy is Y number of C Flex phone. So it's Y times 80 she will spend when she buy the C Flex phone. So you can write it as 80Y. Now, she must not spend more than $1,200. What that means now is the number of B flow times the money, or in other words, the amount of money she spent on B flow plus the amount of money she spent on C flex phone mustn't pass 1,200. It must not pass 1,002. You see that? So, how much she spend on B flow phone? She spend the B flow, the amount of money she spend on B flow phone. Alright? She spends 60x, and for the C flex phone, how much she spend? She spend 80y. Now, the amount of money she spend on B flow phone, 60x, plus the amount of money she spend on C flex phone, 80y, must not pass a certain amount. Which amount that again? It says Marla must not spend more than 1,200. So it can be equal to 1,200, or it can be less than that. So use if this money must be less than or equal to 1,200. So that is the inequality. Let me just write it up here. So 60x plus 80y less than or equal to 1,200. Alright? So make sure you see that. Alright. Next thing, it says here, the number of B flow phones must be greater than or equal to the number of C flex phones. Write down an inequality in X and Y to show this information. Alright. So when you write that down, what do you think it is? Okay, good. You write it down. The number of B flow phone must be less than or equal to the number of C flex phone. What the number of B flow phone again? The number of B flow phone X number of B flow phone. So X, and the number of C flex phone, Y number of C flex phone is Y. The number of B flow phone X must be greater than or equal to the number of C flex phones Y. That is the inequality. X greater than or equal to Y. So the next inequality say X greater than or equal to Y. So these are the two inequalities we work with. Alright? This is what let me say after this. Let me just rub out what we have here. So it says represent the two inequalities on page 22 on the grid shown below. Label as R the region which satisfies both inequalities. Alright. So what do you see? I just copy the table and put it over the other page. Copy. Paste it just so. And bring it down below all of this work. Alright. So now, let me just rub out some of the things that I may have here. So rub them out. You should have noticed that already. Well, if you never make a note like you can just rewind the video, pause it and write it down. But anyway, wait, so if you do again. So if you represent the information, let me just copy this too. Copy and paste. Let me pull this thing down here so. Alright, nice. Now, the thing is, you have 60x plus 80y less than or equal to 1200. What you going to do, you see? You can cancel this down, you know. You have some big numbers here. See if you can cancel them down. You have 60x plus 80y less than or equal to 1200. If you divide everything by 10, you have 6x plus 8y is less than or equal to 120. You can divide everything by 2 now, and you have 3x plus 4y is less than or equal to 60. Alright, good. Now, temporarily, we're going to treat it as if it's an equation. You can imagine it as an equation. 3x plus 4y equals 60. Now, what you can do is say, let me move it down here so closer to the graph paper. Alright. Now the 3x plus 4y equals 60. Suppose you say when x equals 0, y 1. So when x equals 0, 3 times 0, let me write, my gosh, 3 times 0 plus 4y equals 60. So 4y equals 60. Y equals 60 over 4. That's our 15. So when x equals 0, y equals 15. So when x has 0, y has 15. Let me just make a note. Let me plot that point. Good. It's going to be a straight line, I can see. So you don't need no more than 2 points. So we can try 3, just in case we make a mistake. It's good if we try a third point. Let me just rub out this. Which other point we want? So before we try, I wonder if it crosses when y equals 0. We can try when y equals 0 and see what happens. When y equals 0, what happens? You have 3x plus 4 by 0, that is 0 equals 60. So 3x equals 60, x equals 60 over 3, that's what, 20. Oh, when y is 0, x is 20. So we plot this point. Good. After that now, what we can say is, we can try a third point. What happens when y is 10? When x is 10, y is what? So, when x equals 10, what happens to y? We say 3 times 10 plus 4y equals 60. That's 30 plus 4y equals 60. 4y is 60 minus 30. 60 minus 30 is 30. 4y is 30, so y equals 30 over 4. 30 over 4. That's 15 over 2. That's 7.5. Alright, so x equals 10, y equals 7.5. So we're going to plot 10, 7.5. 10, 7.5. So we got 10, over 10 there again. Oh, so 10 here. I go 5, 6, 7, 8. If you find 7.5, you go 5, oh, if we count 5 between 0 and 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so each square is really 5 over 4. That's our 1.25. So 0, 1.25, 2.5, then you have 2.5 plus 1.25. That would be 3 3/4, 4. Okay. So what happened? You have 5, you go so. This represent 5 plus 1.25, that's 6.25. This represents 6.25 plus 1.25, that's 7.5. Oh, so let me see. Alright. But anyway, what happened here so now? We go so. I really that's true, you know, because we pass through. In an exam, you don't really need to plot a third point. Just plot 2 points, but just plot a third point. We have all the time in the world I know. We have the whole day to work it out. But anyway, you know, I really take the whole day still. But that is that inequality. That inequality is really 60x plus 80y less than 1 200. So I write it down. Is 60x plus 80y less than or equal to 1 200 dollars. How about the next one now? The next inequality are x greater than or equal to y. Temporarily, you see, treat it as x equal y. Plot the point x equal y. Now remember, you remember what the line x equal y. You remember what the line x equal y look like? You have to remember that line out of your head, you know. You see x equal y now. Whatever x is, y are the same thing. So x equal y. When x are 5, y are 5. When x are 10, y are 10. Are the same thing then. X and y are the same, x equal y. When x are 20, y are 20. Because x equal y. But anyway, there's only 2 points we need for plot. So what happened now? The line going to come. When x are 0, y are 0 too. So the line going to come something like this. Right? So this one say x is less than or equal to y. That's all? Or greater than or equal to. Remember, you know? Greater than or equal to y. So x is greater than or equal to y. Alright. Now, what them say if you do again? Represent and label the region which satisfies both inequality. Alright. So you have different regions just so. You have this region, this region, this region, this region. You have to see which region satisfy both inequality. So what will you say? You go and test the region there. You can quickly tell if you get all the practice in this type of thing there, you know, this type of question. But we test them. Now we test this region. Suppose we say in this region we have this point, the 5. So at this point, remember this is the point we want to test here, so now you know. X equals 0 and y equals 5. You can see it. Now, we can see if it satisfies the 60x. 60 times x are 0 plus 80 times y after 5 less than or equal to 1 200. 80 times 5 are 400. 400 is less than or equal to 1 200. It's satisfied, you know. It satisfied the inequality. So we can say whatever happen over this side, it satisfies this inequality. Right? That means a point over here is not satisfied. We don't really need to test it, but we can still test it and see. Now make me rub this out. I don't know what some of them working as to your man part. Alright. Now, here's so. If we try a point over here, it will not satisfy this inequality, the CX6X. Alright, it's not going to satisfy that. We can try now. Try 5 out. Let me see. Where 10 go? Oh, yeah. Make we try 10 15. 10 15 would that be right here, so 10 15 would that be that. So make you try that and see if it satisfies that inequality. Now, x are 10. So 600 times 60 times 10 are 600 plus 80 times 15. 80 by 15 hour. 80, 15. Alright, A5 40, bring down the 0. Carry 4, 8, 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 200 plus 1 200 must be less than or equal to 1 200. But we know says 600 plus 1200 are 1800. And 1800 is not less than 1 200. We know say it wouldn't satisfy it already still, but we just show it. Alright. Now you can also mark all of them points here to satisfy this inequality. Now what about the x greater than or equal to y? We want to find a region that satisfy that inequality. So make we try somewhere along here. Somewhere on this side of that inequality and see. We could have tried the point 10 0. Right so. X equal 10, y equal 0. Right? We could try that and see. Now it says x must be greater than or equal to y, but x are 10 and y are 0. Is 10 greater than or equal to 0? Yes. So we can say that this side satisfy the inequality. We can hardly see the yellow. Use this side satisfy the inequality. Right? You see? The thing is, if you try a point over here, so you try 10 15. You see x is 10, y is 15. But 10 is not greater than or equal to 15. 10 is less than 15. So you see, on this side would not work. Alright, so them say again. Them say label as R the region will satisfy both inequality. Alright, good. Both enough. You see, this region, you know, satisfy none of them. You see, this region, it satisfies the 60x plus 80y greater than or equal to 120. But it not satisfy the x greater than y. You see, this region, it satisfies the x greater than y. But it don't satisfy the 60x plus 80y less than or equal to 120. So, you can see, you know, this don't satisfy both, this out. this region out, this region out. But this region now, it satisfies or what? Yeah, so this region satisfies both inequality. So them say label it as, what then say if you label it as a in R, let me write it ticker. Label it as R, the region that satisfies both inequalities. So you see that? Alright, let's see what happened, what else happened here. So, okay, good. Them say the total number of mobile phones represented as x plus y by x plus y. According to the graph, what is the largest possible value of x plus y? Well, with these things, we see that well, they generally occur. The solution generally occur at the intersection. But anyway, you can play around with it and see what happens. But it's kind of crowded here. If we just erase some of these things, we won't use, R already. You can just write R smaller and write it down as so. So this is R. We know R this up. Just erase this out just so. This largest possible value, x plus y. Right? Total number of mobile phones. Now, the thing is, if you use the intersection right so, and say x plus y, what you're going to see is that x is 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7. What you're going to see, this number, we have to figure out what this number is. You can count it up and see. Right? You can count it up and see that this is one. We already figure out this should be 6.25. This is what? 6.25 plus 1.5, 7.5. This should be, this point should be 7.5 plus 1.25. So that would be 8.75. 8.75. And then 8.75 plus 1.25 would that be 5 or 5, 10, 0, carry 1, 7 or 1, 8, 9, 10. 0 carry 1, 8, 9 and 1, 10. So that would be 10. So this point is 8.25, no, 8.75 plus, same argument apply here. So 5, this would that be 6.25, 7.5, and then 7.5 plus 1.25 would that be 8.75, 8.75. So 8.75 plus 8.75, that come to what? 8.75 plus 8.75. We just use the calculator upon that now. So we have 8.75. Let's multiply by 2 instead of add it again. 17.5. So 17.5. 17.5. But you can't really buy 17.5 phones. But what you could have buy is 17 phones. Alright, we get 17 phones that's all. Now, maximum number of phones. Now, could the person buy 18 phones? We're going to see. Make we argue it out now. Right? Now, is it possible that they could have buy 18 phones? 60, if we put in this equation, 60 times 18, oh, the number of this phone, the 61, must be greater than the number of the Y phone, B flex or C flex and B flow, whatever it is. Now, if them buy 18 phones, first of all, we look at the 17 phone. 9 and 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 9 and 8 are 17. So 9 plus 8 are 17. 9 are the x. X must be greater than or equal to y. 9 are the x and 8 are the y. If them buy 9x and 8y, the money would have been 60 times 9 plus 80 times 8. How much that come to? Remember, in our exam, I just write down the 17 and move on, but we'll play around with it. 60 times 9 plus 80 times 8 would that be 1180. Alright, good. No problem. Could the person buy 18 phones? Go and see. Now, if they buy 18 phones, what I say 60 times 9 plus 80 times 9. Because then could I buy equal number of X and Y phones too, you know. Make we see what happened here, so. 60 times 9 plus 80 times 9 equal. We get $1,260. But the money must not pass $1,200. So they could not buy 18 phones. We have to go back down to 17. They spend too much if they buy 18 phones. Alright. So now, we couldn't make them buy 9y and 8x because the number of x must not be less than y. Alright. If them buy 8x and 8y would have fall below the 17 because we have said them by 16. We want the maximum number. So you can see first right here the intersection. It works. That is where them buy the maximum number of phones, right? That is what happened. So you see that? That works at the intersection. Alright? Alright, so that is that. That is question question 8a. And then we have 8b, question 8b. Alright, what we're going to do is do question 8b in question 8b in a different video.